My name is Rob Colicci. I'm one of the directors of Colicci. We're a family business. We have 40 sites and it's a collection of cafes, restaurants, kiosks, trucks. We have our own bakery that hand bakes all of our own pastries and cakes. We have kitchens that make all of our food and sandwiches fresh each day. Coffee is what underpins our operation. It's the spine of our operation. We believe that every good cafe needs a great coffee as its anchor. Otherwise, you're just not going to get the clientele coming in. We believe in a speciality coffee, single origin coffee beans, but it doesn't just stop at the coffee bean. It's about the milk, the equipment, the crockery, the baristas, very, very importantly. It's investing in all those things. Being a lover of coffee and really wanting to make the right choice, I went to the market, had a look, and looked at who were the guys out there that were doing it the very best. I remember picking up the phone to Fabio Ferreira of Notes, and straight away there was a warmth, there was a familiarity, a relationship, and I can't explain it because it's just him. He's just a lovely, friendly kind of guy, no arrogance whatsoever, and it can be quite daunting when you're coming into this world of specialty coffee. It can be quite cliquey. None of that with Fabio. He's like, hey Rob, come to my shop, man. I'll show you coffee. I got a great coffee for you. We'll drink coffee together. I'm like, yeah, okay. I'll come drink coffee with you, Fabio. And that was it. It was an easy decision. I knew they'd do a quality product, and he was about to take me on such an amazing journey, educating me, but not in a way that felt patronizing. He was brilliant, and in some ways he sort of mentored me in coffee, and he probably doesn't know this, but it was such a key decision for us at the time, and I'm so glad I made it. It's been an awesome one. I decided, guys, we've got to change all our coffee machines. Everyone in the business thought I'd lost my mind. They're like, who is this guy who's persuaded Rob not only to buy his coffee, but to buy hundreds of thousands of pounds worth of machines? So there's a lot of pressure riding on it. We were buying what's called a commodity coffee, a lot cheaper, Robusta, what's kind of known in some parts of the coffee world as coffee filler. And we were buying roughly around 10 tons of coffee back then. And then making the switch, our coffee sales shot up to around 14, 15 tons. So within, weeks, months, we were 50% up on coffee. If I fast forward to today, we're now buying 36 tons, 40 tons of coffee, and our coffee sales are just growing exponentially. It's actually quite frightening. We sell around 1.4 million cups of coffee per year, and that's revenue in excess of £3.5 million. For the last 2 years, we've been 40% up year on year. A busy month for us is now maybe 250,000 cups of coffee, which is scary to think we got there. And actually, we're forecasting to be sort of closer to 2 million cups of coffee in 2019-20. When we were buying 10 tons of coffee represented around about 12 to 14% of our sales mix. Now at 36 tons, coffee and coffee alone represents 24% of all of our sales, and it's growing. Even on those really hot days, in our cafes and restaurants, our coffee sales are packing the same punch as ice cream sales, which is amazing. Our footfall numbers are going up, and they're going up at quite a rate. Dulwich Park Cafe, 50% up on transactions. Bushy Park, around 15% up on transaction. Richmond Park, the same. Central London, we're tracking around 35% up on transactions. So everywhere is up. It's not all to do with the coffee, but coffee represents such a big reason why we're tracking such impressive numbers. I actually think Notes are going to be slightly surprised at this year because we're definitely going to tip the scales over 40 tons. Ethically and sustainably sourcing coffee is such a huge part of why we are with Notes. It's really important to know that the farmers are getting their share. The likes of Notes are going out and are offering to pay them more money because they know your coffee's brilliant. We need you to make more coffee. We want, the business to evolve and continue. So it's so important that these guys get the right price. Training's a big thing. I spoke to Notes. They introduced me to a guy, a legend, called Gennaro. And Gennaro, one by one, and I mean one by one, he would give every single one of my baristas 20 hours of barista training and then further on-site training so that they really got used to the grinder, understanding the journey of a coffee bean, understanding the equipment, how you should be tamping, how it should be extracting, what to do when it's not right. And if you speak to my staff, they all will talk very highly about Gennaro. The reason why we choose the coffee machines that we choose and the grinders that we choose is because they're the best and they're synonymous with speciality coffee. I'm so proud of our coffee. It's not just, the belief that I and the top tier management have in coffee. It's kind of filtered down, but the product has done that itself. Switching coffee supplier to Notes was, looking back, it was an easy decision to make between Notes and others. Notes, they're advocates of the perfect cup of coffee. We all strive to give every customer the perfect cup of coffee. It's all in the picking and the sourcing, and I think that's the key. If you're out there and you understand it and you know what you're doing, as Notes do, as Fabio does, then it's not difficult. I'll sit down with Fabio at the end of the year and I'll be like, hey Fabio, how much coffee did we buy this year? He goes, hey Rob, you're not gonna believe this, man. You've gone over 40 tons of coffee. That's incredible, man. How are you doing it? And I'm like, I don't know, it's your coffee. They like your coffee.